Am I audible? Is my voice reaching to all? Can I get the responses, please? Yes, no? Guys, is my voice reaching? Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. So today we are going to see some new transformations. Okay. We are going to see some new transformations today. So I'll go to the Azure Data Engineering Study Material and page number 114. Okay, just hold on. Yeah. So this one we are going to see source transformation, select transformation, sort transformation, and then sync transformation. Multiple transformations we are discussing, guys. Okay, data flows. In data flows, we'll design the transformation basically. Okay, in data flow, in data flows, we design the transformations. In data flow, we design the transformations. Okay, so the different transformations we are going to use today is this ones. Okay, source, select, sort, and sync. These four transformations we are going to see today. Okay, source transformation, select transformation, sort transformation, and sync transformation. Okay, fine. So source transformation is what? Okay, if I put it in very simple words, okay, source transformation will always use to extract the data from the source system. Okay, in data flows, we use source transformation. Okay, source transformation always to extract the data from the source system, to extract the data from the source system. Okay, simple definition, simple point I'm giving. You are having a, okay, official definition also. Source transformation configures our data source for the data flow from our source system. To fetch the data from our source system, we'll use the source transformation in ADF. But I'm saying to fetch the data from our source system, we'll use the source transformation in ADF data flows. Okay, when we design data flow, our first step is always configuring a source transformation. What I'm saying, when we design a data flows, our first step is always configuring a source transformation. What is select transformation, guys? We use select transformation to rename, drop, or reduce, okay, reorder the columns. Okay, suppose you are loading some file data in your destination and assume that that file is having some 6 columns, and your client is saying that, okay, he don't want all the 6 columns in the destination, he wants only 4 columns, 5 columns. So that renaming or dropping of some columns, renaming of the columns, or reordering of the columns, we can do with the select transformation. This transformation doesn't alter row data, but chooses which columns are propagated to downstream. Okay, so filter transformation we have used yesterday to, okay, filter the records. Okay, we can decide if a file, okay, in your source system is having 10,000 records, and your client is saying that he wants records of so and so type only, then we have seen how we can make use of filter transformation yesterday. But for select transformation, we are using what the, okay, we are reordering, we are renaming, we are dropping the columns, okay, before we are loading into our destination. Before we are loading into our destination. Okay. So what I'm saying here, okay, For example, whatever the columns that we want to drop or don't want to consider in our destination, then we can remove those columns from our source data before loading into our destination. Simple points, guys. Simple English, simple points. In select transformation, users can specify fixed mappings, user patterns to do rule-based mappings to enable auto mapping. Okay, fixed and rule-based mappings can both be used within the same select transformation. If a column doesn't match one of the defined mappings, it will be dropped. Okay, that is what I'm trying to say about the select transformation. Select transformation. Okay, so we'll see practically also how we are going to use all these transformations in the Azure Data Factory. Okay, sort transformation. The sort transformation allows us to sort the incoming rows. Okay, whatever the rows that we have decided. Okay, after applying the business logic, that rows we can sort. Okay, it allows us to sort the incoming rows on the current data stream. We can choose individual columns and sort them in ascending or descending order. Okay, we can choose individual columns and sort them in ascending or descending order. The sort transformation sorts inputs data in ascending or descending order and copies the sorted data, okay, to that transformation output or to do the destination. Okay, this is what about the sort transformation. Sync transformation. See, before I'm using all these transformations practically, I'm giving, okay, the theoretical explanation, knowledge bites about the different transformations, that what is these transformations, why we are using these transformations, what is the functionality and purpose of existence for these transformations that I'm explaining. Okay, after we finish transforming our data, okay, write it into our destination store by using the sync transformation. The sync transformation we always use to load the data into our destination system. Okay, we always use sync transformation to load the data into our destination. Every data flow requires at least one sync transformation, but we can write to as many syncs as necessary to complete our transformations flow. Okay, we can have multiple syncs also in our data flows accordingly as per the business requirement. That's what I'm trying to say. After we have done with all our transformation and business logic as per the project requirement, we'll finally use sync transformation to load the data into our destination systems. Each sync transformation is associated with exactly one data set object. Okay, what data set object it is linked with or link services also. The sync transformation determines the shape and location of our data load, okay, of our data to load it finally into our destination system. Okay, fine. This is what about the different transformations that we are going to use in our data flows inside the Azure Data Factory. Inside the Azure Data Factory. Okay, so see here I'm saying that I'm having storage account, okay, source system, destination system, and this is my ADF where I'm designing multiple transformations here. Multiple transformations I'm designing. So if you see practically, it will be much more clear to all of you guys. So I'll start the practical implementation. Okay, I'll say here step 1, create a blob storage account, container inside it, and upload the below CSV file inside the source storage account. So if I go here to Azure portal, I'll say here portal.azure.com. Okay, I'm having storage accounts already. So I'll take the storage account. I'll take this source storage account. I'm not going to create a storage account, guys. I don't want to do the same things again and again. I don't want to bore you guys. I'll directly take this one and I'll upload the file. Which file it is asking me to upload? Sales files 2020 USA, UK, India. Okay, I think this file only uploaded. Yeah, sales files 2020 USA, UK, India. Perfect. This file is already uploaded. So this is my step 1. Step 2 is what? Create Gen2 storage account, container init, and destination. So I'll say here destination storage account, data lake storage. This is my destination container where it is blank. I'm just going with blank. I want my data to be loaded here finally. Okay, with all the transformations in my data flow, whatever we are going to use. This is empty as of now. Step 2. Now step 3, create ADF 2 link services. Okay, ls blob SA, source ls gen2 SA destination for the blob storage account, and ADL gen2 storage account using the delimited text. So I'm getting 2 link services. Okay. So in this step, I'm not giving the technical steps, how to create the link services, what you have to configure, how you have to choose the subscription, storage accounts, all that stuff we have done many times in the above classes, in the previous labs. But that's why I'm writing now the steps in shortcuts. This is the steps I'm writing now in shortcuts. Okay, if you guys have done the practice of previous labs and all this, you can easily understand. If you have not done the practice, then it is very difficult for you to understand what this step is saying. Okay, fine. So whenever you are doing practice, please don't do from the middle of the material. Always do the practice from the top. Always do the practice from the top. You will understand the concepts, the implementations of okay, concepts here. Now, all of a sudden, if you start using practicing data flows, in data flows, I'm not giving the technical steps in detail how to implement, because this we have done many times in our previous classes. That's why whenever you are doing the practice, see, always do from the top, from the beginning. Then only you will understand and your flow will become easy for you to capture the things. All right. So I'll just go to ADF now. I'll create a data factory. I'll say here data factories. I'll say here Naresh ADF 1944. I'll go ahead and I'll deploy the data factory. Okay. The ADF got deployed. Go to ADF, launch the ADF Studios. Link services plus new, say here blob. Okay. I'll give the name here. No spaces. I'll create one more. I'll say here Gen2. Done. 2 link services I have created. Next, create data sets for blob storage account with this name, and ADL Gen2 storage account also with this name, using delimited text publish all and publish. So I'll just go here and I'll create the data sets. I'll say here blob. I'll give the name source. Okay. I'll take this file. Okay. I'll create one more data set. This is for my destination. Okay, publish all, publish. Okay, now create a new data flow. What I'm doing, I'm creating a new data flow with this name. Okay, so let the publishing gets completed here. Hold on. Close. I will say here data flows. Okay, click this one and say here new data flow. Okay, I'll give this name to my data flow and I click on this knob. I'll say here source. That is what I want. Source box in source setting box. I click the knob and choose this one. Okay, fine. DS blob as a source. Okay, this is the data set I have created. That is what I have set this data set for my source. Enable data flow debug as shown below. This always you have to do. Whenever you are working with data flows, simply understand, whenever you are working with the data flows, always remember you have to enable the data flow debug compulsory, for sure, without fail. Else your complete data flow will not work and it will something like a dead machine. Okay, so enable data flow debug, say here okay. So let the data flow debug gets enabled. You will get a green check mark here. If it is enabled properly, you will get a green check mark. Just hold on. See, it is loading. It is loading. See here, Dataflow debug got enabled. Dataflow debug got enabled. Perfect. Okay. Now click on plus. A window will appear at the bottom. Now, if you click here, if you go to data preview and if you say refresh, then see you are going to see what you are going to see the data whatever you are having in your file. Inside your file here in your source system, if you go to the file source container, is it? See, this is the data in my file. Same data will be reflected here in my source transformation. Why? Because we have integrated the source transformation with our source file. In our source system, we have integrated. Now, that's why this source transformation will populate the same data as this one. Country, year, product type, sales. Okay, it will come. Just hold on, guys. Yeah, see, country, year, product type, sales. All the records, whatever it is in my file, all the records are listed here in my source transformation. So what we are using source transformation for? We are using source transformation to get connected to our source system file and then extract the data and present it or load it into our source transformation. And that's what we are seeing here. That is what we are seeing here. Next, what I'll do, I'll say plus, click on plus, window will appear at the bottom. In search type select, click on select transformation. Now what I'm doing, click on this plus, say here select, in the search box select, and now click on select transformation. Click on this select transformation. So I have launched the select transformation. Okay, select settings tab, scroll down, and here we'll see what all the columns that we are going to appear in our destination. Okay, select settings tab, scroll down, and see what are the columns we are having: country, year, product type, and sales. 4 columns now we are having in our source file. One, okay, we are having 4 columns, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That all 4 columns it is showing. Now, if your client is saying, okay, now we are having 4 columns in our source. And now, if your client is saying that, okay, is saying that load only 3 columns into the destination. He don't want a years column. We don't want a years column. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll simply select year and I'll say delete. That's it. Country, product type, sales. And here we'll see all the columns that are going to be appearing in our destination. If you don't need some columns, then we can select that column and delete as shown in the below image. We can do this based upon the project requirements. See, some column I'm deleting here. I'm showing this in all the image. I have deleted years column. Your client will tell you what column has to be removed and all. Okay, your architects or your business relationship managers will tell you all this, will give you the information. Fine. Now click on press on select transformation in below window search for sort transformation. And click on sort transformation in sort settings tab, scroll down, and for sort condition, click on up and select the column name. Click on this plus, say here sort transformation, launch this sort transformation. This is what I'm launching my sort transformation. Okay, in sort settings tab, scroll down, and for sort condition, click the knob and select the column. Okay, sort condition. Okay, how you want to sort the data into your destination that you are deciding here in the sort transformation. So I want to present the data. Okay, sales wise, ascending order, or else country wise, ascending order. First, you will get all the countries with starting with alphabet A. If A is not there, then B. B is not there, C, like this. I'll say here sales. Fine. So that's what I'm saying here. Country means here we are inserting the data in destination based upon the names in ascending order. Okay, click on press on sort transformation. Below window, search for sync. This is done. Here I'll say sync transformation. This is my sync transformation I have launched. In sync transformation, click on sync transformation in sync tab for dataset. Choose the dataset which we have created for destination. Select here. Okay, come to dataset and say here, this is the dataset for destination. Dataset for destination, we have selected. Enable Dataflow debug at the top. This is already enabled for us, no need to worry. Okay, already enabled for us. Now click on sort transformation, click on data preview tab, sort transformation, data preview tab, click on refresh. See now, what has happened here? If you see in source, we are having 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4. But with select transformation, we have deleted 1 column. That's why in our source, we are getting now 3 columns only. Here columns we have deleted. This year column I have deleted now. That's why in my sort, this year column is not getting visible. Okay, year column is not getting visible. We have deleted it. So it's pretty obvious that in our destination, which we are using sync transformation, that also will not show the years column. Okay. So data preview tab, refresh here. We can see what all the columns we are going to insert in our destination. And we can also notice here that last column is not getting inserted in our destination. Last column is our years column that we have removed. And that's why here, okay, years column is there, but client says that he don't want this column in the destination. That's why in select, we have deleted that column. After this is done, click on sync transformation, optimize tab. Sync transformation, optimize tab here. Click on single partition radio button. Single partition radio button. Click on settings tab. Click on this settings tab. File name option, output to single file. Okay. File name option, say here, output to single file. You want the data in a single file only. Output to single file name, I'll say here, okay, sales data.csv. So I want the file in my destination with this name. I want the file in my destination with this name. That is what I'm giving here. Okay. I'm saying here, the file name should be something like this. Here I have given details.csv. Okay, any name you can give, guys. This file will get in our destination. General storage account, publish all and publish. I'll say here, publish all and publish. So let the publishing gets completed here. Close. Okay. Now, one more important thing that you have to keep in mind. Remember, guys. Okay. Dataflows cannot run by itself. Dataflows cannot run by itself. Okay. If we want to run the transformations inside the data flow, if you want to run the transformations inside the data flow, then okay, we have to okay make use of the ADF pipelines. Please understand these are very basic things expected in the interviews. They will ask you, okay, if you want to run the transformation inside the data flow, then we have to make use of the ADF pipelines. Okay, ADF pipelines will internally call the data flow and run the transformations, what all we have designed inside the data flow. Okay, so now the data flow transformation, data flow transformation is completed. Now, how to run this? How to run so that I can see the data here in my destination storage account. See, this is my destination storage account. Here, I want the file to be loaded with the business requirement. So these transformations are fulfilling the business requirements accordingly. Now to run this data flow with all its transformation, I'll go for the pipeline. Okay, that is what I'm trying to say here. Create a new pipeline. Say here run data flow. Okay, you can give any name. I'm saying here run data flow again. Okay, drag and drop the data flow activity in pipeline canvas. Data flow activity. Just search here data flow activity. Drag and drop data flow activity here. Okay, pipeline canvas. General tab, give name as okay. Give name as DF data flow 1. And here in settings tab, this is the data flow we have designed, right? This is the data flow we have designed. In settings tab, for this data flow, call this data flow. Call this data flow. I'll say here df underscore data flow 1. Okay. In settings tab, data flow, give this one, this data flow we have created in above step, publish all, publish and debug. Publish all, publish. Completed. Now I'll do the debug. If I do the debug, what happens here? This pipeline will call this data flow. This pipeline will call this data flow. Okay, see now. And once this data flow gets called, all this transformation will get active. This transformation will apply the business logic. And finally, with all these transformations, it will do whatever the functionality it is supposed to. Okay, this will extract the data from source. This will remove the column as per the business requirement. What are the configurations we have done? This will sort the data. This will load the data into your destination. Then this data flow will intimate to the pipeline that all the transformation executions has been completed. Then the pipeline will get succeeded, and finally we'll see the data here in our destination storage account. These many things will happen when we click on debug. Okay, we'll come to pipeline and say debug. See now it is empty. My destination storage account is empty. Okay, just hold on. And here we are going to see the file got loaded into our destination storage account. Okay, see, pipeline got succeeded. Perfect. This is what our expectation is. I'll go here. I'll just go one step back. I'll refresh it. Now I'll see the file has been loaded with a name called sales data.csv in my destination storage account. Super. Okay, now I'm expecting only 3 columns in my file. Wow, amazing, 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 super. What has happened here? We have transformed the data. What we have done? We have transformed the data here. Okay, we have transformed the data. Okay, till the time. Okay, we fetch from our source system and load it into our destination. We have transformed the data. Okay, when at the time of fetching from source system, the data was something, correct? At the time of fetching the data from source system, okay, at the time of fetching the data from source system, there were 4 columns, okay, as per business requirement. We have, okay, transform the data or change the data, okay, modified whatever it is and load it into our destination. Okay, okay, that's a different things we'll discuss in later classes solution. Solution B, this will discuss in later classes. What you are asking, that is there in our upcoming demos. I'll show that as well. Okay, in the upcoming labs, it is there that will cover in the maybe after 5-6 classes, maybe, or maybe after 8 classes. Okay, fine. This is what the demo. Next is what we are having, implementation of data flows using aggregate and sync transformation. Okay, here we are using what? Source transformation. Okay, aggregate transformation and sync transformation. Okay, source transformation, sync transformation will always be there, guys, in every data flow, because it's pretty obvious that source transformation we use to extract the data from the source system. Sync transformation we use to load the data into the destination. In between the source and sync transformation, whatever the other transformations we are using, that transformations are doing the business logic. That transformations are fulfilling the business requirements accordingly as per the need of the clients. Okay. So what is aggregate transformation? See, aggregate transformation defines aggregations of columns on top of our source data. Okay. What it will do? It defines aggregation of columns on top of our source data in our data stream. Using the expression builder, we can define different types of aggregations. Using the expression builder, we can define different types of aggregations such as sum, minimum, maximum, count, okay, and can also be grouped by existing or computed columns also. Lot of different aggregations we can do accordingly here in the aggregate transformation. Okay, so this is the lab we are having. Okay, I'll do one thing, guys. I will, okay, this lab seems big actually. We can do this lab, we'll do this lab, no problem. Okay, but I'll use the same ADF. I'll not create a new ADF. I'll use the same ADF only and we'll do this lab. All right, fine. So this is what the lab will see. Okay, I'll just come back in 1 minute, guys. Fine. So what we'll do, we'll take this file, sales file 2014-19 USA, UK, India. I'll come to storage account, blob services, source container. I can keep even this file also, it doesn't matter. You can keep both the files, it doesn't matter. Okay, but just in order to ensure the confusion should not be there, for that reason, okay, I am keeping one file only. So I'll go to Naresh IT, data engineering. Okay, correct. Take exactly these files only, guys. Okay, at least for my labs. What all the labs you are doing from my video recordings. If you are doing something different, learning something new, definitely you have to do. Then you can create, you can consider different sample files. But for my labs, take the sample files only. Okay, now what it is saying ADF link services. Okay, link services, it is asking me to create for prop storage account. Okay, while getting data set, because we have uploaded the storage account. Fine. Create a new data flow. Okay, from here I will start. Okay, so this link services only I'm going to take. Okay, I'm getting a new data flow. Okay, I'll create the data set also. Okay, DS blob as a source. I'll create the data set upfront. Let me see what we are doing here. We are doing all these aggregations. Okay. Where is destination columns, destination data set here? Destination it is not talking about, right? Why it is not talking about destination? Okay, we'll proceed, story will understand. Okay, so I'll just go here. I'll go to data factory. This is my source storage account. So sorry, this is my source data set, right? I'll go to browse. I'll say here source container. I'll take this file. I'll say here okay. Okay, fine. And destination storage account is same, that only. Okay, this one only I'm taking. Fine. Is that clear? I'll say publish all, publish. After the publishing is completed, you can close all these things. Before that, don't close it. Now you can close all these things. Fine. What I'll do now, I'll create a new data flow. Okay, I'll give the data flow name as what? DF data flow 2. I'll add source here. Okay, and give this data set. Give this data set. Carefully give the data set, guys. Okay. Next, enable data flow debug, which is already enabled. Okay, data flow debug is already enabled. Click source transformation, click on projection tab and change the data type for sales and year column to short as shown in below image. I'll go to projection tab. What I'm saying here, change the data type for year and sales as to short. Year is what? String. Year cannot be string, right? Year is decimal number, like 2015, 2019, and short is also sale is also number, integers. So I'll change the data types here. That is what I'm asking you to change. Refresh. Data preview tab, refresh. Okay. Click on press source transformation in search type aggregate. Click on aggregate column, aggregate transformation. Okay. So I'll say here aggregate transformation. Okay. In aggregate settings tab, scroll down. Okay, here scroll down, and you have to say on top of what columns you want the aggregations to be done. Okay, so I'll say here I want to see it on top of country column. So in which country, how much sales has been happened accordingly, minimum sale, maximum sale, etc., etc. Click on aggregate. Okay, so it is saying you click on this aggregate. Okay, for columns type, say as max sales. So for column type, say as max sales. Okay. If you click on aggregate, max sales. So here I am giving the column name max sales, and here I am writing the formula. I'll say here max sales, and here I am writing the formula. Fine. Then click on add for column type minimum sales. Say here add column. I'll say here minimum sales. Fine. Next, sum of sales. These are all the aggregates. This is all the aggregates I am calculating. Maximum sale, minimum sale. What is the lowest sale happen in the country? Highest sales happen in the country USA, in the country UK, in the country India, in the country Japan, whatever it is. Okay. So max, minimum, sum. I'll say here sum of sales. Fine. Average of sales. Okay, I'm saying here okay, count of sales. Okay, and the output would be something like this: maximum, minimum, sum of sale, average of sales, etc. So I'll just go to data preview. I'll take a refresh. Okay, that's what it is saying. Click on aggregate transformation, data preview tab, refresh to see the data in the aggregated values are shown below. So data will be shown something like this. In the country USA, the highest sales happens is maximum sales happens is this much. Total sales happens is this much. Minimum sale happens is this much. Average of sales is this much. Okay, count of sales is this much for USA, UK, and India. So in your source system file, whatever, okay, the country's data it is there for all the countries, it will show you the data in this way. Super. See here, USA, UK, India. Your source file is having data for 3 countries only. If it is having data for 10 countries, it will show for all the 10 countries. The USA, UK, India. USA, UK, India. So obviously, all USA, UK, India only. That's why it is showing you the aggregate values. It is showing you the aggregate values here. Okay, in our aggregate transformation. Okay, click on press on aggregate transformation, search type sync. Okay. Acha. Oh, I got it. I got it. So what we are doing here, we are taking this storage account only as source. We are taking this storage account only as destination. We are taking this storage account as source and destination both. Okay, so I'll say here sync transformation. Okay, data loading. Okay, in destination, what I'll do, I'll give this data set only. This is my source data set. This is my source data set. Okay, so what happens if I give this data set? Then this storage account will act as source. This storage account will also act as destination also. If you give this data set, then data will be loaded in this storage account. If you give this data set, then data will be loaded in this storage account. So I'm giving this one only. Let it be. I hope you guys won't get confused. Optimize. I'll go for single partition settings. I'll say here output to single file. I'll give the file name as aggregated data.csv. Okay, fine. Data preview. I'll take a refresh. This is what the data will get loaded into my destination as what it is displaying in my sync transformation. Yeah, super. This is what I want. Aggregate data, aggregate values I wanted. I'll go for publish all and publish. Publishing is completed. Close. I'll say here new pipeline. I'll say here run. Okay. df underscore data flow 2. I'll drop data flow activity. Okay. Execute. Okay. df underscore data flow 2. Okay. Settings. Here carefully select this data flow. Here carefully select this data flow. Not this one. This data flow you have to select. Okay. Publish all. Publish. Then publishing is completed. I'll do the debug. If I do the debug, I'm going to see a new file created in this storage account only with the name called aggregated data. Okay, so the pipeline is in progress. I hope the pipeline will get succeeded. Fine. Pipeline got succeeded here. So I'll go to the storage account. I'll refresh. I'm expecting a new file got loaded into my same storage account. Yes, super, super. See, and I can see the data also in the aggregated format. Maximum sales, minimum sales, average of sales, count of sales, etc. This is what how it is made. And now, if you go here, okay, and if you go here, if you change the data set, okay, here, if you change the data set to this one destination, okay, then what happens here? The file will get loaded here into this storage account. Into this storage account. Okay, fine, guys. Here the file will get loaded. Do this as an assignment. This is old previous lab file. Okay, do this assignment, guys. Do this assignment here. Okay, fine. That's it. So this is what finally. Okay, hence with all above transformations, we can see that for single file data, we have divided into multiple aggregations using aggregate transformations and divide the data into multiple files. If you want, you can divide it into multiple files also. Okay, I have not divided into multiple files. I have taken all the data in one file only. Real-time projects also will do in that way only. Okay, multiple files, single file. Note one is for multiple files, single files. Okay, this is what I have written. Normally, we'll put all the data into one file only, not in real-time projects. Fine. Next, we are having implementation of data flow with conditional split and sync transformation. Conditional split transformation. So it depends upon the condition. Okay, I want to split my data and load it into the destination. Very different requirement, very different transformation. All transformations like this we'll discuss, guys, in these classes. Okay, data flow transformations, we'll discuss this. So I'll take this up in tomorrow's class, guys. Okay, so I'll just close the class. If there is any questions, you can ask me. I'll address your questions. Okay, all right, is that clear, guys? Yes, no? Any questions? Practice, guys, practice. Okay, this is easy as compared to previous classes. Okay, little practice is needed. Okay, data flow transformations is actually we do a lot in our real-time projects. Okay, so multiple transformations we are covering here. This we'll see. Okay, tomorrow's lab is this one. Okay, how we can split the data, how we can load it into the destination, multiple string transformations, multiple, we are dividing the, split based upon the business requirement. This we'll see in tomorrow's class, guys. All right, any questions, anyone? Anything to ask for? Yes, no? All good, guys? Guys, am I audible? Any questions, anything? Okay, all right, guys. Hey, guys, can anyone give this subscription, free trial subscription? We'll do one thing, Mithunjay. I'll ask this in tomorrow's class. Do one thing, Mithunjay. Tomorrow when I start the class, okay, remind me about this thing. Okay, we'll see if someone can help you out. Okay. Bye, guys. Good night. Take care.